day 2, and it's really, really cold. And there's fog everywhere. We're down by the beach now because we decided to sneak off. Don't tell anyone, to go to launch pad, but it actually would be back there somewhere. But it's really, really foggy, so I hope tomorrow we can see it. And I'm hanging out here with everyone who snuck off with me. Yay!
The rebels.
For the rebels. And then there's someone all the way out there collecting sand dollars.
Welcome again. You met Tim Dunn, our tele-launch evangelist, yesterday, our launch manager. I'm part of the same organization that he is. It's the Launch Services Program, and we procure the launch service from United Launch Alliance for launching the InSight satellite. So the room that you're in is called the Mission Director Center. This room has 2 purposes. It's really here for 2 days. It's here for the mission dress rehearsal, which is to get ready for day of launch, and it's here for day of launch. And so you've heard a lot about the InSight spacecraft, a little bit about the launch vehicle. Nobody really talked a lot about what day of launch is all about. And so I thought I would spend some time talking about day of launch and all the different folks that are involved in making the miracle of a launch actually come to pass. Before I get started, just a little bit of history. So Vandenberg Air Force Base came to be really in 1941. It was Camp Cooke. It was an Army base, and the Army wanted to prepare troops for World War II for artillery and infantry. And so it was an Army base for quite a long time. And then around 1956, I believe, the north part of the base that you'll be going to when you leave here became Vandenberg Air Force Base. And the south part of the base that we're on was given to the Navy in 1958. After the Navy received it, they were going to build a missile range because they also had property down by Point Mugu, a little bit south of here. In 1958, NASA was formed as well. President Eisenhower decided that he wanted NASA to be a platform for peaceful exploration of space and international cooperation in the space arena. And I think if he was here to see InSight, he would be pleased with his result. So NASA launched their first mission from the space around 1960, 1961. The first launch actually leaving the space in 1958. 50,000 feet, we could have wind that's 200 miles an hour. Break the rocket in half, just demolish it in an attempt to fly through it. And so you have to wait a few days for that marine layer to rise up, maybe go as high as San Francisco, where it makes that turn as it blows across the United States. And the winds will drop down to maybe 50 or 60 knots. And so then that's good for a rocket. So this launch team is doing their thing at the Remote Launch Control Center, getting ready to, or preparing the rocket to be ready for flight, loading propellant, checking in with the weather. The management team is talking to one another, and then finally we get close to T0. So, and then that comes right back to the Mission Director Center. So at the very last of the countdown, the team will do one final poll. The spacecraft is ready to go, the rocket's ready to go, the weather is ready to go, the area is clear, there's no concerns. And so then the Space Launch Commander, Colonel Huff, gives his final go to proceed within the last couple of minutes and says, you're clear to proceed. And then they initiate the final launch sequence with the rocket, which is a mouse click. Sorry. The computer takes over, runs through the final sequence of the launch countdown, and then we have liftoff, which is why we're all here. So then back again to the Mission Director Center. So what this provides to the decision makers, because that's what day of launch is all about, is making decisions continually through the countdown. We make sure they have the video they need. We make sure they have the countdown status that they need. If any anomalies arise during the countdown, those will be posted on the video and at their computers as well, so they can be tracked through the countdown and how the engineering team works through them. And then we have on their consoles, they can choose different video scenes, they can choose comm channels, whom they need to talk to, and in some cases those are tailored to certain groups. So it really provides them with all of the information they need, or a path to get that information to make the decisions they need to make to get to T0. The very upper is Slick 3, the two down, one down low are Slick 3. So you can see on the lower left, kind of the inboard screen on the lower left, we're looking at the rocket, at Slick 3, doors are open.
And is that current right now?
Yes. Yeah.
It is your live feed.
So I goofed up. I didn't introduce Dave Hoffman is our IT engineer. He's part of our team, and he was here to help me with tech questions about the room if there were
the
any.
rocket here.
Yep, there it is.
Just to
That's
clarify for everybody, it's right in here.
That's right there.
This whole building just pushes back tonight around 11:30
Right. So
midnight.
they've opened the doors, and so the building will move back away from the rocket. There's an fixed umbilical tower there that you can just barely see. That gets like environmentally controlled air, etc., up to the fairing to keep that area nice and clean.
Hey everyone, so before I got here, we were brought into this very cool but very confidential room known as the Western Range Operations Control Center at the 30th Space Wing out here, where they do a lot of pre-launch checks and communications to be sure that there is a safe and successful launch. And it includes things such as checking weather, like looking for natural lightning and triggered lightning, which was quite fascinating to me to even learn about, which has to do with the conductivity level that there is in the precipitation of clouds. And if there is one nearby and the launch happens, it can actually trigger lightning and cause lightning to form, which was very interesting. And they learned this quite a while ago that I thought was quite fascinating. It was during at Atlantis during the space shuttle program mission, which was really cool. And now I just ended up finding this room when going to the bathroom, and how cool is this? Yeah, everyone's on lunch right now, but the true adventurers are here. Rocket motor, M57A1, section 44. That's so cool. Oh man, look at these engines right here. That is so dope. Huh. There is a laser up here. Where is that being transmitted from? Ah, it's being transmitted from over there. What is it for? So this is incredible because these engines right here have a thrust of 300,000 pounds. They can go at 16,000 miles per hour. They can range over 6,000 miles and reach an altitude of 620 miles. Just look at the engineering in there and the mechanics. Wow. Oh my goodness. See what these guys are working on. This might look like either second stage or center stage. Maybe like a Centaur of a Atlas V. But this is obviously a long time ago, so this is probably part of... Oh, this might be the connections of a rocket booster that maybe were straddled on the sides of the space shuttle program. Western Space and Missile Center. Oh, or it was used for missiles. The Air Force. Because again, we are at Vandenberg Air Force Base. Ooh, this is the engine transportation trailer. That's so cool. Whoa. Talk about a cool shopping cart, guys. Oh, and I almost bumped right into this. So cool. And this is probably what they stood on when they were slowly building it piece by piece. So I've seen something similar in a couple facilities I've had the honors of touring, where it looked quite similar to this. And the engine would probably sit just under here. And this would be one of the boosters. They'd probably just keep building it up and then attach it to the side.
Oh yeah, that's why I heard.
Before D that blew up, it was in April of '86. So it was just after the Challenger, and so that was the last film mission. Everything since then has been electro-optical. And now, okay, so here's the deal. So tight space here. So this is what we're gonna do. You take a shot of this. We're gonna walk past the curtain, so you can see the launch mount. Just be careful about tripping hazards, all those kinds of things. It's industrial operations. We got operations going on, but I wanted you to be able to see this because this is historic. You probably will never see another one of these being painted again. So follow me. Watch your step. Going this way. I had to cut out the bottom of the fuel tank, so I have a great shot of me standing inside the RP1 tank, which no one in history has ever done that before. But that's kind of fun. But liquid oxygen kerosene airframe. So this particular Thor is a 1959 Thor. It's basically the grandfather to the Delta. This main engine, which we have up in the display building. So come down this way, around this curtain. SpaceX is trying to bring back the payload bearings, all those kind of things. This is what we're talking about, only a little bit bigger. But this was DMSP, the first classified weather satellite. We fit in here. There's a 1/3 scale model that hangs in the ceiling. So those open up when you see that. So you see how this would split into two. So this is a bisector fairing, so it would break off into two pieces. If these pieces stay in space, they become debris and have to be tracked. So this falls into a called conjunction analysis, which all that tracking is done by the 18th Space Control Squadron here at Vandenberg. So, when you go in the building up there real quick and you see on the monitor all the stuff in space, that's the 2,300 satellites that we're tracking at this point that have a serial number, telemetering data to and from us. So the fiber, this is an aramid fiber payload frame, which is very advanced in the 1970s. But it's riveted together. So we would bond them today, okay? So this is using rivets, which is an old aircraft design where you use actually compression and expansion of the aluminum rivet to hold and bind it. Well, if you do that on something that's a glass fiber, every place that you put a rivet, you just put a stress fracture in that device. Paradigm of engineering, because they didn't have glue that was strong enough in the 1970s, because if you would have said, well, we're going to glue it together, they would think you're crazy. Because, look up super glue, 1970s TV commercial. So launch mount here, okay? So you got lots of homework, see? So this is the launch mount. So that rocket would bolt to this piece. So it would stick onto the end of this. When the engine starts, they would hit that thrust deflector to scatter the thrust. This building moves. So get ready to launch. This building rolls back out of the way. This launch mount, this umbilical mast, the booster, the transporter, everything raises up like a dump truck. Once it's up in the vertical position, fuel comes in, starts to fuel it, oxidizer comes in, pops off the oxidizer, 3, 2, 1, engine starts. That entire process from close, sitting on nuclear alert, to open and engine start is in 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Get it done. So here's the deal. Everything you see here, all of this was engineered. This was all designed and executed in a contract in 50 days.
Wow.
Started on a chalkboard in Inglewood, California with 10 individuals, General Bernard Schriever and 10 individuals, and 50 days later they executed a contract with Final Design Authority to proceed in contractor selection. They launched the first vehicle 13 months later. Choose to be victorious, people. You have to decide that you're going to succeed and then go do what it takes to get there.
Yes.
That's what this is about. And this was the dawn of the space age. So everything we're doing today, we have brilliant people that are doing all these things, and it's amazing. And they're doing this because, well, that's who they are. But the other thing about this is that's building on this proud heritage where all these lessons learned have been stacking, just like where everybody's education here, from the very first day, has brought you to where you are in this moment. The same thing here. 32 launches off of this launch mount. 30 DMSP satellites, 1 classified spacecraft, and 1 missile test launch. Apollo 11 was actually rescued with a vehicle that was flown off of here. People don't know that story either. Because there was a weather issue. And they had to take the weather information from here to help them bring the vehicle back safely. And that was part of a classified mission. It was until the 1990s it was declassified, and they could actually tell that story. So things like this are happening every day over our world. And we use this technology every day. And it's completely invisible to us because professionals that do this do their job. It's pretty cool. So with that said, we gotta get out of here and get back to the building so you can stick your head in there and get on the bus and leave and go back and see you another day.
Yeah! That could be a motivation.
So, I haven't had any coffee today.
Can't go this way.
We are coming up on the rocket here.
Woo! Look at that. So this is so amazing. I just arrived. The rocket is right behind me. Look at this. How cool is this? This is the Atlas V rocket with the InSight lander right on top. I am so excited for it to launch. I can't stop looking at it right now in the mirror. But look at this! Ah, so cool.
You can turn your I know it's hard with the rocket there. But if you turn your attention to Krista over there.
This fog is crazy.
Walking towards you. Walk out the right.
I was yesterday too, actually.
And that's gonna head to Mars and be there just after Thanksgiving. So how cool is that? So welcome. So excited to have you out here. As Tony said to a couple of you, this is really just launch is an experience, right? It's all the people that work on it. It's all the people for so many years that have spent time working on these payloads and these missions to make them happen. And so this is such a pivotal moment for them. So that's pretty extraordinary to think about and experience. But the other thing is that when you experience a launch, you don't just watch it. You feel it, you hear it, like the ground shake, you see it, and the ground shakes, and you feel a rumble, and then the rocket rises up. It's a full body, full emotional experience. So I hope you enjoy it while you're out here. My name is Krista Bell. I'm with ULA, and hopefully all of you follow us on social media. And we are at ULA Launch on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and United Launch Alliance on YouTube. But that's typically me. I handle our social media. So it's been fun to see everybody getting ready and coming out here, getting as excited as we are for this mission. So I'd like to introduce you to Tony Taliancic. He's our Director of Launch Operations, so over both East and West Coast launch operations. Tony?
Yeah, just get some applause. All right, so we have about 600 or 700 people in launch operations that launch off the East Coast, West Coast. This is the first launch of a mission to Mars off the West Coast. Yeah. So the first interplanetary mission, a 401 vehicle, a 4-meter payload fairing, no solids, 1 Centaur upper stage. It has a lot of energy for this small payload to get it up and going fast. Be able to escape Earth's gravity and take it to Mars. 860,000 pounds of thrust out of the RD-180 liftoff. In about 5 or 6 hours, people are going to come in and start to prepare for launch. They're going to move the tower out of the way, roll it back about 11:30 tonight. Somewhere around 1:30 or so, we'll start prepping for fueling operations and get everything prepared for launch at 4:05 in the morning. And with this weather, it's going to be a great view if you're in an airplane. Because a lot of times, the further back you get, the better view you get looking over the fog. And hopefully we'll have something that people can see. There's going to be a lot of people around looking at it, so not sure quite how well it's going to turn out, at least up close, but we'll have good pictures from above. Any questions?
How tall is the rocket?
It's right at 200 feet.
Wow, what a day. I cannot believe how much I got to see today and yesterday out here in Vandenberg Air Force Base for the launch of the InSight mission. Oh, so cool. I mean, even just this folder that says NASA's Journey to Mars. It's so crazy to really realize just how close we're getting to getting humans to Mars. And with every mission that we send there, it's just one step closer. It's another building block for really truly getting a human exploration to reach Mars next. And it's so cool. And I actually love this. On this folder, you can see a little footprint right there of a little astronaut boots. So that's really cool. Sorry, I have like a little bit of energy right now. It was such a crazy day, so jam-packed with different stuff. And I'm now just checking out all my space swag that we got in here. Oh, look at this cute little thing of curiosity. I think they just gave me an entire booklet of the same poster. Wait a second. They gave me this poster, And then they gave me it wrapped up, and I think it's the same poster, but like a whole bunch of them. Wait a second, if they gave me this instead of a patch, I'm gonna be so upset. Yeah, it looks like it's literally a package of the same. Oh wait, whoops, dropping stuff. No, it's different. Oh, this is so cool. Looking for habitable environments. Thanks, NASA. What's the next one? Gonna go through all my space swag now. Something a little bit different. This one says Curiosity's landing site. Cool. And let's see what the next one is. This one is, ooh, okay, Curiosity. NASA's Mars rover Curiosity and its robotic arm. Oh, dude, its robotic arm is so complex. Like, look at that. So cool. But yeah, so pretty much today just ended up being so beyond epic. Like, we were brought into the Western Range Operational Center, which was just like so cool. Like, first of all, what I liked about it was confidential. We all had to leave our phones and our cameras on the bus, so I was pretty bummed because I really wanted to get content for you guys. But it was kind of exhilarating being like detached from my phone for that like hour and a half. And they brought us into mission control. So they brought us into the main big room where they're able to like really be in contact with the spacecraft when it's separating from the rocket, and then obviously, of course, the whole countdown for the rocket launch. But then they brought us into this other room that was all about the weather. It's all about tracking weather, and it's all about looking out for different like potential for lightning, both natural lightning, and I learned about triggered lightning, and trying to get a couple hours of sleep because it is an early launch tomorrow morning. It's gonna be at 4:05 a.m. Pacific time. So for those of you on the East Coast or elsewhere in the world, I guess it won't be that early for you guys. But this is an amazing day. It's been such a great time here at Vandenberg Air Force Base. So thank you so much to NASA for allowing this opportunity for me to be here. And then also thank you United Launch Alliance for giving us a big insight of the InSight mission of the Atlas V rocket. It was so cool. And I also love all the swag that you guys gave us. Every single thing has been so cool. And I really can't believe how much we were able to truly fulfill in just 2 days. And I've seen so much of the Air Force Base. So thank you, the U.S. Air Force. And that was such a cool tour and journey of your facility. So thank you so much to everyone again. And I gotta go watch the NASA TV episode because, or live stream that I did yesterday, because I gotta see myself. I asked the question. I gotta go find it. So also thank you to everyone here who not only watched my last video, but also joined me live on my Instagram page, and then also on the Boss Instagram page today. That was so much fun, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. So I will talk to all of you guys from the viewing area for the launch, because right now we are go for launch. All right, bye guys.